Hello and welcome to this week's edition of our Pitstop podcast. I'm joined by Mark Jones and Charles Bosch. A few weeks ago, we were deliberating about the big C63 M3 showdown, and we are glad to report that all the numbers are in, and we can discuss what's going on there, and we can analyze that a bit. Now, the big thing was obviously, shall we call it by its full name, the Mercedes-AMG C63 SE Performance.
Formatic.
Plus. I suppose there's a sedan too. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. From now on, C63, new C63.
Yeah.
Okay. Made waves around the world 2 years ago when they announced they're dropping the 4-litre V8 in favor of an electrically assisted 2-litre 4-cylinder engine. Didn't go down well. It's probably still many people whining about that. But anyway, proof was always going to be in the pudding. What is it doing on the tarmac? So, to set us up to have an apples for apples comparison, Mark got the BMW M3, which is the all-wheel drive, the latest updated one.
M3 Competition
X-Drive.
Sedan.
Yes.
Right.
There we go.
Yeah.
So, took the BMW to Gerotech. He got a 0 to 100 kilometers per hour in 3.34 seconds.
Correct. A whole full 0.3 seconds quicker than the rear-wheel drive, which did a 3.68.
And that rear-wheel drive was also faster than the outgoing or the previous C63.
Yeah, the old 4-litre V8 with a 9-speed box did a 401. So
also rear-wheel drive.
Correct. So BMW was king of the hill. In the naturally aspirated days with C55s and C63s, the NA motors, Mercedes clubbed BMW into submission with cubic capacity.
Yeah.
It was just quicker each time. When it turned to turbocharged engines and decreased capacities, BMW started to come back, and that's what we saw now. So BM has kind of been king of the hill in rear-wheel drive now, and it set the benchmark in the all-wheel drive at a 3.34, which is stupid fast.
Ridiculous.
So, yeah.
So, Mark took the new C63 over to Gerotech, and it got a 3, drum roll, 3.
1.
That means 0.03 seconds. So in other words, 300ths of a second quicker. But quicker is quicker.
Well,
I mean, we've seen at the Olympics, if one touches the wall in front of the other one by 1,000, they win gold.
I think it was our first gold medal.
Yes,
Tatiana.
exactly that.
And that's that's my job. That's what we do. We go measure data. Yes, there are little factors that are at play, and 300ths of a second is splitting atoms, but it's how we determine our top of the charts, king of the road vibes. You have to have a measurement, the manufacturers do, and that's what I got. I mean, that's quick. 331 for a 2,090 kilograms, a 2.1 ton sedan, is really fast. It gives away 350 kilograms to the BMW in weight.
Yeah.
That's lots. I mean, that costs 350 kilograms heavier, and it's now the new king.
Yes. So, Charles, with all the flack this car has been taking over the last few years, this is obviously the perfect way for them to set the record straight.
Yes. Yeah, it is. I mean, when the C63 came out, as you quite rightly said, there was this brouhaha that it even went so far as to say that sales in Germany have tanked to levels that they at Mercedes have never seen before. Nobody wants it. There's a waiting list or whatever. Sales have been bad everywhere. Then Mercedes went and introduced the CLE, the new CLE 63 with a V8 engine. And then everybody was saying, okay, now we're going to have the 63 is going to have that same engine. And Mercedes came out and they said, there was even a report in Germany that the slumping sales was going to result in the C63, when it comes to its first midlife facelift, will get that V8 engine again. And Mercedes-Benz said, I don't know where it's from. It's absolute rubbish. So it's going to remain 4-cylinder from now on. And that V8 is going to be exclusive to the CLE 63S. So, look, it's going to be... It's always going to remain a point of debate, even with the times now established. It's always going to be a point of debate. The sayings or the reports came out, the car is quicker, as Mark has proven, but there's no soul. It feels dead. It doesn't have the same soundtrack as the V8 was. It just feels too clinical.
I don't know. I must be honest.
Yeah, I was going to ask you. You obviously put it through those paces now. How did it make you feel in that car?
Yeah,
How's the dynamics?
I've got to. I mean, I disagree because not with you, but with sentiment.
Yo.
I drove it on launch. I thought it was pretty good. Dynamically and in straight line speed, it's fast. It reacts well. It delivers. Yes, it does not have a V8 soundtrack, but it has a lot of other things going on. The rear wheel steering, the dynamics of that car is substantially good.
Yes.
That car is a lot. For a C63 of that weight, it really does do what it should do. It turns. It's got so much tech on board. The regeneration of electricity is quick. It leaves the car quick. It creates performance. Everything's good. I mean, the car is able to, if you map a track or you select a track or you map a piece of road, it then knows. So when you go on the brakes, it regens hard, really harder than normal. And then when you come out, it gives you all the power. It's got those sort of little functionalities that people who are a bit more techno sort of savvy will appreciate. It is moving to the future. Whether we like it or not, these cars are coming with electrification. The current BM is still mechanical, 3-litre, twin-turbo. The next gen, I'm telling you, like M5, is going to have electric assistance. It's going to gain weight. And then they're going to deal with whatever Merc has dealt with, unless they still stay with their 3-litre, which is their current car, and add electrification to that. Then I think Merc's got a problem.
Yeah.
Because that car's already, as we know, as quick as the AMG. And we haven't yet, and that's the little fly in the ointment, we haven't yet, because it's just been facelifted overseas, and we should get it by the end of the year or early next year. We haven't been given the LCR M3 yet, which is now a 390 kilowatt.
Yes.
So there's every chance that car, which comes in the next few months, is going to unseat the C63 again. But if they stay with that engine and add some electricity, I think it's game over Merc.
You made a very good point when BMW has on record been saying that the next M3, which comes out in 2027 or somewhere, bearing in mind that the next generation 3 Series is going to be split over 2 platforms. There's going to be a normal platform with the internal combustion engine. There's going to be an EV-only setup, which Mini is currently doing with the new Cooper. And that new M3, that electric M3, will rumoredly produce or can produce something in the range of 1,000 horsepower, which is 746 kilowatts, which is the same as a Bugatti Veyron in an M3. But the other thing that Merc, that 663 has, it's very discreetly styled. You have to look pretty carefully to deduce the fact that this is a C63.
That's exactly what we said.
But that is exactly it is, because it's not as shouty as you would expect AMG to be. It's what we used to call a Q car. It is the ideal thing. You have to look so carefully, and then you only realize, oh, this is a 663 when it bombs straight past you. And I think that's also part of the appeal. It no longer shouts about itself. It no longer screams about itself. It just does the job, and it astronomically, incredibly does it.
Yeah, I think nobody gave, when you drive around in a test car and it's a bit flashy and loud, it's thumbs up, people look, stare, whatever. I had none of that with the 63. It hides away quite well.
Yeah.
And because it's not shouting with a soundtrack, it's subtle. The BM, on the other hand, is a bit more loud, and it's got that whole different grille in the front. People go, wow, it's a different attraction. But Merc has done that recently. They keep it simple. And it's either going to appeal to somebody or not, and you're not going to get a BMW driver into that AMG. No. I think their target is neutral sort of guys that have lost their love for maybe Audi RS.
Yeah.
And current Merc owners who to pry them out of their V8s. I think that's their idea. But it's worth it. It's a good car.
So on the whole, we can only compare what we can compare with. There isn't a 4-litre V8 anymore.
No.
There's this thing now. Your verdict on it, is it a win for them?
Short answer is probably no. Sadly, the people that came for a drive with me, because a lot of people are very interested because there's so much negative hype and it's all over social media. The people that did come with me, I'm talking car people with a lot of money, were like, their first reaction was, hey man, this thing's nowhere near as bad as everybody said. You need to drive that car. I think you need to drive it, understand it a bit. It pops some sound in, so it sounds pretty raughty and snap, crackle, pop. Drive it. It's not going to be a win. I don't think it's going to resonate because people just won't get over this bubble. let's see what the next hand is played by IBM. But it's the future of Merc. It's not going to change. It's not going back to V8.
If I can reiterate what you said a couple of years ago when we drove the Toyota Supra, when that came out and people were going all crazy, oh, it's BMW underneath, it's power and whatever. And I think your words were, it is here, it is BMW powered, get used to it. That is the same with the with the C63. The V8 is gone. It's not coming back. It is a 2-liter turbo with a plug-in hybrid system and 500 kilowatts and 1,000 Newton meters of torque. Get used to it, because as you said, that's how the future is going. And Mercedes-Benz wouldn't have put that intentionally. There's reason for their supposed madness, what everybody's saying, and that's how it's going to go.
Well, a famous TV show had a little board where all the guys' lap times were, which was a big, like a wall of honor for people who came into the studio.
I don't know what we're talking about.
Never heard of them.
No, I don't know what you're talking about either.
I might have seen it on
Off the
Twitter.
top of your head?
Yeah.
Was it gear-related?
Was
never
it?
heard of it.
Yeah, was it? What country was in a Commonwealth country?
No.
Ex-Commonwealth country.
Those guys that can't play like a rugby. Mud Island?
Australia? I don't think they can play anything like it. Definitely not football. But anyway, they had a wall of honor there. So I'm going to compare this C63 now. They are top of the wall of honor with a 331. We can't do nothing about it. BMW can do something about it, and we'll see when the updated M3 comes. And hopefully when it comes, we will obviously put it through the test, and as always, and we will bring you all about it. But that was all from us for this week. Thank you for watching Pitstop. Please go and like this video. If you like it, you can share it. You can choose to follow our YouTube channel. And that was all from me, Jaco van der Merwe. I was joined by Mark Jones and Charles Bosch. Thank you very much. Cheers.